Oh, hey everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on Small Business Saturday. Yay. I am
Yay.
Deplorable Knitter. That's Ann Pinkova, or as I like to call her, Ann Pinkava, because she doesn't like it. So
Well, it's not that I haven't heard it my whole life. It's just that it's not the correct pronunciation.
I know, I just think it's funny that robot voice goes, "You have a message from Ann Pinkava." And I'm like, "Good morning, Jennifer." Yeah, we
Hi.
didn't exactly tell people we were going to be on. So thanks for
It's
joining
a good one.
us. Thanks for getting the memo. So what's happening, Anne?
Me?
Yeah,
Um,
you. Oh,
Whoa.
want to talk about Chicken Lady first?
First we talk about Chicken Lady. That's the rule.
That is the rule, because otherwise we forget. Um, so this is the PIK yarn. This is in her bulky MCN base, which is like, it's really nice.
It's
Um,
like,
and I've had this yarn. Gosh, when did she put it out? Several months ago now, right? And I've had it, and we've talked about it, and I've had it, and I've never made anything with it. And I finally know what it wants to be. And I don't know if you guys are like that, but I have such a hard time. And sometimes it takes a while. I'll have it for quite a while, and then I'll be like, I know what you want to be, and then the yarn's discontinued. So that's the bad part about that. But you can still get this in her shop, and you can use the code PIK Vote 20 to get 20% off of your purchase. So
that's right.
Christmas shopping, like for
Yeah.
real.
And so I just kind of the same thing where it's like I'm not sure what this yarn wants to be yet. And I also got a skein of our own yarn in bulky from Tabitha in her giveaway. So I'm saying I wound it up and I'm like, okay, Christmas presents, what am I going to do? And sort of along the same lines of Wise Owl Knits just did a test call for a cabled hat pattern that uses bulky yarn. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, that's nice. Mine's going to be my own design.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I was going to say to you, because Anne and I have some friends that, like, the minute a new yarn is released, they have a pattern out for it. And I don't work like that. Like, I need yarn to be pre-released to me so that I can hold it for a month or so, and then I can decide what it's going to be. But
Yeah.
kudos to the ones that can do that.
Looking at you, Liz Clothier.
Yeah, I think Liz Clothier is the one I'm talking about, because every time a new yarn comes out, she's like, "Oh, hey, did you see my pattern?" And I'm like, "How did
She
you even have time
is
to knit that?"
no, she is absolutely on it every single time, and it's incredible. But yeah, I'm the same way, and I'm also someone that if the yarn is out of sight, it's out of mind. So
Mhm.
it'll just like sit on the table. So every time I look at it, I can go, okay, not
Yeah.
not this, not that. But yeah. And also speaking of Chicken Lady, my advent box from her came. And okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a very good girl and I'm gonna wait until December. But box number one was open a little bit, so I did peek, and it was just beautiful. So I'm very excited.
So I may have also peeked at box number one. Anne and I are no good. I am
Exactly.
not good with surprises. I am not. But
No, and
that's
like
okay.
everything else is still wrapped up. Okay, I ate the chocolates.
Oh, dude, I ate those the minute it came. Are you
They
kidding me? And they
good.
were delicious.
I know. But it's like, no, I'm going to be a very good girl, and I'm going to open my advents, in order and nicely. And ooh, box.
Yeah.
No, no, no. But yeah, anyways, like I said, Chicken Lady, PIK, vote 20 during the month of November, 20% off.
Yep. Yep.
Check it
Yep.
out.
Fun stuff.
And also,
Mhm.
if y'all haven't seen our last Knitting Wars episode where Lynn was on and Amy from Two Sisters and Senior, that it was
It was
hilarious.
funny.
No,
Some comments got censored because we were talking about how to properly get crispy skin on a chicken.
uh,
And also we were talking about the surpresent balls that Lynn has in her shop, and it was hilarious.
yeah,
So go check it out. We did that Wednesday night. So
right.
everybody was tired, getting ready for the holiday, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. And that's one of the things with doing a live stream this morning too. That's like, okay, so we normally record on Thursdays. So that's not going to happen with Thanksgiving. And then Tuesday was late because people's schedules were weird. Now we're doing a live on Saturday. So
mhm. Hey, it happens sometimes. But And I was out Black Friday shopping and putting up the tree with my kids and stuff yesterday. So even if we had recorded, I wouldn't have had time to edit. It wouldn't have
Yeah.
been out today. It would have been like last weekend when I just totally didn't do it until like Sunday, but whatever. These things happen.
It's the holiday season.
I know. Well, and it's, yeah, everybody's busy. There's stuff going on. Um, yeah. But can I show off my yarn that I got? It is not
Yeah.
from Lynn, but I'm excited. So this is a cowl I made. I knit something. It's a cowl. It is
What?
all stockinette, so not terribly exciting, but very pretty. And
Mhm.
this is a merino cotton blend. And I got this from Revolution Yarns.
Nice.
Revolution. She's in Canada. I like
Oh,
her a lot. So I got this color, and there's, don't tell, but there might be another colorway in my mailbox very soon. And I ordered this one. It's called True Colors, and it's fine merino superwash. It's bulky. I'm excited about it. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's fabulous. This is like a me color. Like my mom says, I'm drab. I'm pretty drab. I yeah, it's super pretty. It's a base of like a kind of green, and then there's like pinks and yellows and blues and stuff coming out of it. So, but I gotta say, I love her yarn. She's super nice.
No, but you really do like the kind of rainbowy multicolor.
I do, but I like some of my favorite stuff is during it not during some of my favorite stuff is like the, oh hey, here's a bright rainbow and I'm gonna pour some brown on it or some gray or some
Kind of mute
you
it down a
know.
little bit.
Yeah, because this is the other skein and you can see it's got kind of like there's some really pretty pinks and stuff in there, but then it's getting drabber and I love that about it. And the color I got that's coming is like a purpley gray color. So I'm super excited about that too because it's right in my wheelhouse. All kind of like I love color, but I also love color that's kind of drab, unexpected, a little different. I don't know, something.
Something.
So anyway,
See. Here, here, I'm just gonna set my cup of coffee on the floor, which hopefully won't be a disaster later. Because I have my shawl over here. I don't want to bring my shawl up and get it all dipped in coffee.
right. That would
But
be no good.
that would be very not good. But I am almost finished with my second larger Stardust shawl, which is still in testing.
Cool.
So I went through and found out that some of my written instructions were bad. So, it's
Happens to the best of us.
yeah, it's okay. I got there. And it's just like little micro adjustments too, which is kind of
Yeah.
annoying. But anyways, here.
Got hair fuzz on me now from showing off all that yarn.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's like a big, there's like different color patches in it. But here, it's huge now. Because
It's very pretty.
I have my little snowdrop.
So the testing, is that just on the small size or are people testing both sizes?
It's the way that the pattern repeat is in the middle, you can just go until you want to.
Okay.
So, yeah, I more wanted to make a big one because I wanted to make a big one. It wasn't, and then there's a couple people who, instead of fingering weight yarn, did DK yarn. And again, for a shawl that
Yeah,
you're ending
that's good.
whenever, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, and look at those.
Oh,
Sorry.
they're so cute.
I know.
I
Yeah,
love
I
them.
was sitting up late last night and put the little stars on. So
Hmm.
I know.
And I want to just say what Janice said here. Not drab, subdued. Exactly. I like color, but I don't need it to be neon color. Those are for other people. That's not for me so much. Yeah.
Right.
That's all. But yeah, and I love that shawl. I love I love it that it has a little bit of color work on it because my thing about shawls is that they're kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, yeah, you kind of have that big expanse in the middle where you got to do the boring thing, but then you get to the bottom and it's like, ooh, surprise.
Right. And also, okay, and this could just be me, but like I said on Knitting Wars, that I had to pull apart like 8 inches and then start over again. And
Hmm.
then once you get to the long end, of course, it's much longer. I'm still enjoying the stitch pattern. And
That's
that
awesome.
could be a me issue, but still, like I'm still having a nice time. And with the variegated yarn too, it's fun. It's fun to knit along and see how the colors change. And yeah,
Yep,
I
I agree. And Adam, thanks for being our cheerleader. Yeah, people like
hey,
us. Tell your friends we're on. Come on.
thanks, Adam.
Um, no, so it's like a basket weave pattern, right? Your shawl?
Right here. Let me get it a little
Yeah.
closer. See.
Are those slip stitches?
Nope. Nope.
Really?
It's just
It's
knits and
just
pearls.
in pearls. I like it. I don't generally like basket weave, but I like the way you did it. It's not like when I was teaching my knitting class, the kids didn't like it when it was kind of like a checkerboard more.
Right.
Yours is a basket. That's not a chicken lady. We already talked about you.
Well, we can
You
talk about
missed it.
more. This is your sweet maple. But yeah, and also this here, I'm gonna this is also fun as a basket weave, because not to give away all my secrets, because when the pattern is out, but
Hmm.
in this pattern, you consistently throughout the repeat knit more than you purl, which
Nice.
if you're like me and you prefer knitting to purling, even if it's a regular stitch pattern, it's really nice that way.
Yeah, no, that is nice.
So,
Um, I yeah, I don't love to purl, but like when I'm doing it, it's generally not so bad. You know what I mean? Like if something is mostly pearls, I'm kind of like, but once you get going, it's like, oh, this isn't the worst. It could be, yeah.
right. Well, I mean, for me, it's like I knit faster than I purl, so that if it's straight knitting, then it's a much faster rhythm than if I'm knit purl knit purl knit purl.
Right.
And then I mean, there's always the thing too when you're going along and it's like, oh, I was off. Okay, okay, take back. All right.
Yeah.
And I
No,
mean, with any stitch pattern, if you're like me and you don't pay attention a lot. So
exactly.
but yeah, counting. Yeah. I can tell.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, Chicken Lady says she hopes you said something nice.
2, 4, 5. Yeah, no. Why would we ever say anything mean about Chicken Lady? I mean, for real. I was talking about your yarn. And I was talking about my designing, that I need to be a better designer because I have to have something in my hand for a long time before I know what it's going to be. See, something's happening. It only took 6 months, so there you
Uh,
go. Um,
Jennifer says that she also prefers knit stitch. And also, thank you, Sandra. She likes the shawl.
oh, 99, 100. Okay, now I can talk again. Sorry, guys. I had hoped to have this already cast on when we started, but these things happen. Um, because I was trying to get ready. It's not, I don't just roll out of bed like this. I have to go put some putty on, whatever. Um,
Yeah. And this morning too, I didn't have time for it, but somebody would like me to make them a Union Jack hat. I'm like, okay, time to whip out the pattern, time to figure out what yarn, time to not time enough, not casting on, get on the show.
yeah, yeah, no time right now. So I would have been ready earlier, but so we put up the tree last night, but it was like 6 and we have a fake tree, and so by the time I was done doing all the fluffing so it didn't have any holes in it, it was like almost bedtime.
Mhm.
And then I was not getting out the ornaments, so we got out the ornaments this morning, and then I looked at my clock and I'm like, oh crap, it's after 9. I have to go get ready. Like I was slightly unprepared, but we were having lots of fun. And then when we're done, we're going to my mom's house to put decorations on her tree because why not? And my husband was like yelling at the kid, not yelling at him, but he was like, guys, like all of the ornaments are like in this spot right here. Like, can you put some? I'm like, we'll fill in. We got candy canes, we got stuff.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. I know that bugs some people, but for me, I'm like, I'm happy they're doing it. I'm happy they want to do it. If they want to do it and everything's crooked and 6 ornaments on the same one, perfect. It looks great to me.
See, when I was a kid, and into teenage years, I would often be the one decorating the Christmas tree just because mom's like, yeah, whatever. Trees up, go.
Yeah. Well, and the other reason I don't like worry about it is because we have 2 cats. So
Oh yeah.
and then you put things under the tree and then things fall off. So really when they fall off, I just kind of spread them out. It's not a big deal.
Right.
But
Well, I I said that spent Thanksgiving with my brother and his wife, and everyone gets home after Thanksgiving, everything's nice, and his wife sends a picture. They got their tree up instantly. Like she was motivated. She wanted that tree.
that's funny. I mean, I rearranged because I have to rearrange my living room to fit the tree in. Like I have to and then because I'm rearranging the living room, I vacuum under the couches, and so like I did all that Thursday morning so that I wasn't sure what we were doing. My husband and I ended up going Black Friday shopping, which was, I mean, we got what we needed and it was fine, but man,
Did you
it was a
look
zoo. I should have had a flask of something with me because it was awful. But no, it was a zoo. But yeah, so it was ready. So it was real easy to put the tree up once it was time. It just
right?
took until last night to get it actually up.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband's birthday is 2 weeks into December, and before we had kids, he used to be like, "Hey, we can't put up the tree until after my birthday." And the minute we had kids, I'm like, "Okay, so that rule's gone because we have
Yeah.
kids now." So when we were all adults, it was fine, but I'm like, no, it was funny, but
See,
anyway.
I was gonna say Pumpkin Princess is the same, way as my mother was. Thrilled that her kids
Mm-hmm.
do
Yep.
it. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah, no, and I know some people like to have the very perfect, like it came out of a magazine, and good for you, not me.
Right.
I'm just happy it's up. I mean, I will be thrilled to sit there and knit by it all the time now, but I would have been fine if there were no decorations on it. Ours is a pre-lit fake tree. You just plunk it in and call it a day.
See, for a while, okay, so the big family debate was between real tree and fake tree. And my view is that fake trees are best when they're obviously fake, when they're totally the wrong color. Like I love, no, see, a little while ago, I went to the mall and Anthropology that they had these like light pink and teal trees. And I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Um, that for a while we had a white tree and we had it, well, I had it eventually because it got old and busted, like, here, and you can have this. And I love how the white tree glows. Like it lights up the entire room when it's lit.
That's cool.
And also I just like Christmas lights anyways. I am totally the teenage white girl that I will loop some Christmas lights anywhere all the time. So
You are too funny. Yeah, Anne is definitely like Christmas girl. She's totally into it, and I'm like, I love it. It's great. It's super. I don't need to have big parties and stuff. I got my tree. I'm good. So my adult daughter is in charge of the tree. She hasn't put it up in years, and that's okay with us. I'm in charge of the nativity. It goes up tomorrow. That's cool. My mom had this awesome nativity, and when she moved, it disappeared. And it's so weird because we still have the barn that they went in, just not the people. I don't know what happened to it. A
it,
white tree with blue ornaments. See, that's cool.
yeah. Or see, I'd kind of like to get one of those tinsel trees that have the sort of the 1950s light ring that goes around, so it changes from green to red. That the little spinny.
I have no
It's a
idea.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've
But
never seen it.
it's the full silver tinsel tree, and then it casts light on it. But originally those trees weren't lit. that it was just that it casts color light on it. It's not actually a lit tree. I'm like, no, I want the lights on the tree if it's a fake tree. But the little color changing wheel, I don't know. I think it'd be cool. That's my
That's
problem.
cool.
It's like, on one hand, I'm like, yes, it would be very nice to have lovely muted colors, and it's just so cozy and old fashioned. And the other part of me is like, glitz it up. Like, I want so much gold glitter in this room, and those two things kind of clash.
Yeah, I want like a regular tree. Like I don't want and our fake tree looks real, but it's one of those cool ones because I like the white lights. But way back, like when our kids were small, I bought one that has the option to have it colorful, and there's a remote so you can just change the colors. So like
Right,
when the kids turn it on, it's colorful, and then when I turn it on, like at night when I'm knitting, it's white lights, and I just
right.
the whole thing makes me happy. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Or the really big colored bulbs. Those start, yeah, that again, more tree debates over the years with my family of it's like, oh no, no, let's do the nice white lights on the short needle tree. Yes. Yes,
Yes,
Michelle.
Michelle, you know the deal.
That's exactly it.
But
But the difference between the short needle trees with the white lights and the ornaments are very nice and elegant, but then it'd be Dad's choice for a Christmas tree when we bought a real one, and he wanted the long needle ones,
mhm.
and like no, that you have, and then you have the big 1950s lights, and he and he was kind of when we bought the lights, he's like, "Aw, when I was a kid, they'd make the tree smoke if they were left on for too long. These are like safety ones." and and
Wow,
we'd
I
get the
didn't know that safety was disappointing to people.
right. You gotta cook the tree a little. But yeah, and then he
It's only good if you might forget to turn them off and leave the house and you don't know if you're going to come home to it or not. I mean, come on.
right. Nothing like a little excitement for Christmas, especially when the tree gets really dry if you haven't watered it for a while. But yeah, and then the big silvery tinsel that you'd sprinkle over it, and packed
Yeah.
with as many red bulbs as you can.
Yeah, no, I was looking at like old school somebody put up like 50s pictures of trees. And apparently back in the day it was a thing for the lady of the house to pose with her tree in her fancy gown.
Yep.
And Chicken Lady says she remembers smoking trees. But dude, the amount of tinsel people used to use, it was insane. I remember having tinsel on our tree, but I don't remember. I mean, we would put a little bit on it, but they like it looked like they like took handfuls and just like you get one and you get one and you get
I
like
know
it was everywhere.
we like super tinseled before, but we found that it was a detriment to our animals' digestion.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, it's
Yeah,
fun. And then and then when we eventually broke down and got a fake tree. We're like, no, 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 you can't put tinsel on a fake tree. You have to take it off. And then we're like, that's a tomorrow problem. So we did it anyways. And it was a good
I like glitter and tinsel. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
time for glitter.
Uh-oh. Oh, you were frozen. Okay, you're good. So, I love Christmas. I'm happy about it. I'm going to wrap the presents because I am pretty much done shopping. Gotta get my husband something else. Because his birthday and then our anniversary and then Christmas all fall within like a 2 week period. So,
Right.
he might not get everything just because he might get something after Christmas. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything like we've been having fun here. Lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling with family. Our Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Yep.
But that's what I know. What do you know? Anything else?
I don't know. Just like I said, lots of pie, lots of good food, hanging out. Yeah, we have not yet decorated for Christmas because imagine this bookshelf will be glitzed out at some point.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, we're still right. Oh, and kind of Chicken Lady. No, we didn't open our app.
No, no, it's not time. Remember, I asked about etiquette. It is not time.
Though we did
Please
peek
hold your
at the
comments about Advent. Although we did both peek at box number one.
we
But
did.
I think I'm gonna do maybe I could knit my husband a blanket. Thank you for joining the peanut gallery there, lady.
Oh, and Anna, I'm sorry that you burned your hand. Bummer.
Who burned her hands? What?
Anna is also in the comments.
Oh, oh, poor Anna. I hope you feel better. I hope it's like not bad and it'll get better soon.
Can just sit there and whinge for a bit. But hopefully
Exactly. I don't know what I was saying.
Oh,
Leslie there knocked me off my game.
So Maria Tuscan, who we mentioned that she's closing down her shop, she sold out in less than 2 hours.
Yeah, I went to look at it. I had forgotten, and it was like, too bad. And I'm like, oh, that was a bummer. Oh, well.
Ah, well.
Anna says that she was too stupid to use the glue gun. Dude, every single time I use a glue gun, I burn myself. So, and I'm almost 40. So don't worry. You just get to keep doing it forever.
It's just
and once in a while, I also accidentally burn my kids. So
ooh.
It's a thing. I'll be like, oh, hey, put this button here. And then they're like, ah, it stuck to me. Because you forget the buttons have the holes, and then the glue comes through the holes, and then whatever. Anyway, my husband has to supervise us. Maria closed her business. She got a job outside of the crafting world, and she says she loves it and is super happy. So good for her. Bad for us, but good for her.
There was, I think she may have mentioned that, like she might hand whatever stuff she has left over to a relative of hers or somebody she knows. Mm-hmm. They'll be under a different name, but I've heard rumor allegedly.
Yeah. I've heard that rumor too, but that was quite some time ago. So
right. So yeah, we'll see.
So,
anyways,
hey, I want to know, should I do a unboxing video for my Advent? Should I get on and do a couple of minutes every time I open one? Let me know. I'm thinking about it. Oh, and also, can I shill for myself for a minute, Anne?
Go ahead.
So, guys, in the new year, I'm going to be opening a Patreon. So keep your eyes out for stuff like that, because I love cleaning houses, but the economy stinks. So if I can also, actually do something with my business, that would be super fun. So a Vlogmas. Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do like Vlogmas. We'll see. But I guess that's what it would be if I did it every day. So there you go. Yeah. And also, yes, Patreon. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would want to have. Stuff like that. So
yeah,
yes to the Advent videos. Yes, show us the art. Okay, so Advent videos it is.
Okay. I will probably just do pictures. I'm sorry, guys. Nah.
Well, Anne, if you could commit to joining me every day, we could do a 5-minute video.
That's true.
Or probably 10 if we're both on it. So
we could later on we'll conspire.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, because I mean, we live in different states and different time zones, and sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas girl after all, so
come on. Who doesn't love Christmas?
Yeah. I want Zoom time with y'all. That's already in my Patreon, Chicken Lady, because I know everybody wants a piece of me. I mean, I only have one Advent. I don't know if Anne has any more than one. Do you?
No, I just have the one. I was sorely tempted, and there's a lot of different people who are showing off theirs, and they're also very cool. But no, we only.
Yes. No, we both have the Chicken Lady Advent, which is why if we open it together, then we can discuss together the things. Yeah. So, yay! Chicken Lady's like, yes, please do a Vlogmas, because it's 12 days of advertisements for me.
Yeah.
Why would she say no to that?
No, it's fun though. I enjoy
Oh, I'm just teasing. I think it's great.
it. Anyways, I do suppose we should move on to some news.
Is there news?
There is.
I've been living in a Thanksgiving turkey coma bubble.
Mhm. Well, yeah, that's fine. I mean, so like I always keep up with British news, and it's all of Thanksgiving, and basically the American news cycle stops for Thanksgiving because
Cool.
who cares? Whatever goes on. But the British news is just having regular day. Like I'm standing around with my family members. It's about time to leave. I take out my phone and Nigel Farage sends me I have an email saying donate, donate, donate. I'm like, oh,
Nigel Farage sent you and Pinkava an email
it's the reform.
specifically?
It's the Reform Party mailing list.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
you know,
I was excited for you for a minute.
yeah. No. But no, it's that thing of I'm like, Nige, it's Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, it's not Thanksgiving for you, but no,
Right.
that that the basically it's all go in England because the Tory party is just so bad right now. And we kind of have that issue. We have different but parallel issues between England and America when it comes to both the Tory party and the Republican party because I mean the Tory party is basically everything that the liberal Labor Party is, except oh not quite so much, yeah, but we're doing it, sending money to Albania and not doing anything for immigration, even though Suella Braverman talks a good game. um, but yeah, and old Rishi Rich is out there with Cop 20, um, giggling with Justin Trudeau like a couple of schoolgirls. It's sad and kind of creepy. Also, Cop 20 has signed on this lovely little thing saying that after all, to protect people from COVID, we need digital vaccine passports for international travel, don't you know? And
I
it's
saw
like,
that.
yeah, it's like it's been proven to not help any infectious disease, even in Australia and New Zealand that had the worst, or not the worst, that it is the worst in a general sense, but they're very strict
The
with their.
most restrictive.
I mean, Germany also, that it didn't actually stop any disease. It was just stupid and controlling. So, I gotta fight that one.
Right.
But,
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, for real?
right.
Like, we know. Oh, dude, I read something this morning that made my head explode. Ready? It's about this. Well, not about the passports, but it's about the vaccine, right?
Right.
Now they're saying that if you have anxiety that has been caused by misinformation from people on social media about the vaccine, that your blood vessels are more likely to constrict and cause you harm when you get the shot. And I was like, garbage. It's
Okay.
garbage. And I can't believe they put that. It was like on the CDC or it was
Right.
on an official website. I'm not certain
Yeah.
which one.
One of those that it's like, well, we couldn't possibly. It's like, I'm sorry, you posted something that was against the WHO, and the WHO is posting just logicless crap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing too. That's like, okay, even if we were accepting the premise that stress makes the vaccine harm you, it's like, oh, would any of that stress and anxiety be from, loneliness or isolation? No, it's specifically about the people who are saying that it might be harmful, and that's why it is harmful. You're speaking it into existence, which, you know,
Yeah. But I just dude, I get stressed out about all kinds of different things. I've never had my arteries tighten and have myocarditis because of it. So I'm surprised that this can happen. Seems like it would have
right?
been happening before the COVID vaccine if it was true.
Yes, I
Right?
mean, stress is very bad for your health. I will readily admit it. But it's weird that after, so all these thousands of years of human existence, that we should suddenly have a massive uptick in myocarditis right now because of the specific stress of the internet.
Hmm. I mean, the internet's been around a long time too, and there's
Yes.
been a lot of misinformation. Um,
Except for the
Here
fraud.
in Germany, no one cares about COVID anymore.
Yep.
The Christmas markets are open, and people, dude, I was in Old Navy yesterday. Old Navy clothing store. I don't know if they're all around or not, but the line in there was ridiculous. And then the checkouts, honest to God, the spots were like as big as this screen is. Like that's as much room as you had. They had people packed in like cattle. Like it was like COVID never happened. I was thrilled. It's fantastic. We're all in line. Nobody was social. If we had been social distancing, that line would have been out the back door of the store. It was that long,
Right.
and it would have been so dumb. So
You might
yeah,
have
that was the nice
for
thing
a
about
little bit of
shopping.
social distancing, a little breathing room, so you weren't all cheek to cheek.
Nah, it was fine. But yeah, no, there were lines everywhere. There were people everywhere yesterday, and it was normal. Like I was mad about the people everywhere, but also on the other side, it was really nice to see people doing normal things. So that was cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Oh,
Anna Knitter's comment made me have to say about it.
right.
And Lynn wanted to know if we've seen the quarantine camps that they have. Is that the where they have the people in the white suits like giving them food on the doorstep kind of thing? Like you can't leave. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and you have to go there. So the Chinese social credit system is, if you're not a good little boy or girl, your phone flashes red, and you are no longer like allowed on buses or allowed to, buy things or stuff. And now if it flashes red, you're sent to the camp.
So how does it decide if you're good or not? Do you know?
It's not about health.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying like if you're not allowed on a bus, is it because you say like I don't like the dictator
Yeah, if you're
or COVID is fake or
yeah, if you're not as compliant as you're supposed to be. And if you I know that to get your points up, you can talk on social media about how great the dictator is and how much you agree with him. And there's an app that if you read the propaganda every day, you get good points.
for real?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
No, yeah, it's some fun
I'm
stuff.
sure the US is going for that, so don't worry.
Well,
We'll all be enjoying it soon enough.
yeah. Well, and the I mean, like we talked about before with the Dutch supermarkets, who they will list of all of the things that you buy from the store. That there's some market chains that will say like, oh, well, your carbon score is good because you've done this, or your carbon score is bad because you bought things we don't like. Like, well, why are you still selling them if you're going to shame me for them? That's ridiculous. You're still profiting. But yes, so
Interesting.
with the digital world, it is much easier to track and trace, and not it's easier to attach your purchases to you and then punish you for what you do with your own money.
Good. Good. That's nice.
Right. And there's also banks that will ask you if you draw out, certain amounts of money, like what are you doing with $500 in cash? And it's like that's
None of your
none.
business.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I don't care. It's like, I could be doing anything. I could be buying a couch. I could be buying a moped. I could be buying a life size anime figurine. It is none of your business. Okay. Nobody's business.
I could be buying all the food that I'm going to need when you stop selling it. It's not your business.
Exactly.
Oh my good gracious.
Uh,
I'm not a fan.
Not cool.
No, no. Everybody said credit cards were the mark of the beast, and now they're saying that this is the whatever. I don't like it. I don't want them knowing what I'm doing. Not a fan.
Yeah, it is very not cool. And especially, okay, so this is all COP20. Wouldn't it be lovely when all the little people are tracked for environmental reasons and they can't go across lines so they don't spread the COVID? even though the COVID will come anyways, of course, we still get the private jets. Ha ha ha. We're important. Yeah,
Yeah, no. And another said that with that money, you should be buying all the yarn. Like, whatever, don't judge. Go away.
exactly.
It's my business. I do what I want. Um,
Yeah.
oh man. Oh, I hate the social credit stuff though. It's the worst.
Mhm. Yeah, and kind of speaking of social credits and how the sort of elite top 20 of the world, they have much more in common with each other than they do the countries they come from. Do you remember old Nina Jankowicz? Yeah, yeah, the sort
She's the
of
one
Mary
who's saying
Poppins.
a spoonful of sugar about the vaccine. So,
Yeah,
in case
yeah,
you forgot,
yeah. Hmm, charming-ish woman. Anyways, that she was going to be
something.
the head of the Department of Justice's task force on disinformation or whatever. She was going to be the evil Mary Poppins that was going to come in and make sure that you couldn't say what you want online. She just registered as a foreign agent with England.
What does that mean?
Well, that you have to kind of declare if you work for the American government, if you have connections with other governments.
Is she American?
I thought so.
Okay. I'm processing what you said. It's taking me a second.
Right. Well, I don't know, but it just, I don't know. It reminded me of the Trump and the whole Steele dossier thing. That's like, well, why is there a guy from MI5 who's involved with this at all? And which it was a fake dossier and it was
Right.
stupid. But you could all take the circular argument. It was like, well, MI5 said, well, this said, well, that said, and there was no truth in it. But if you have one person publish it, then you can all say, well, it was published in this magazine. It must be true. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But
She's creepy McCreeperson.
yep,
I don't want her working for any government. How about that?
no. And again, like not that everyone shouldn't have their hobbies, but a gal who is known for singing kind of dirty Harry Potter songs. Maybe we should take a long look at her.
I forgot about that too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know. Also in England, Kelly J. Keane, also known as Posy Parker, and her
Mhm.
Standing for Women campaign. Our friend Bertie Rose was at the protest that she did in September,
Okay.
um, where someone was like screaming at a baby how horrible and sexist this baby was. Anyways, it was stupid.
How can
Trans,
a baby be horrible or sexist or transphobic
I,
if they're a baby?
people
Okay.
probably,
Just curious.
kid's mother brought her along. But anyways, that the Brighton police have called her, and she's been kind of harassed and detained by police before. But they called her. Somebody said that somebody claimed that what you did was harmful to others. Here, let me see. Let's see if I didn't write down specifically what the thing was, but it was something like you were being harmful or inciting stuff. Anyway, so if you could come down to Brighton, it's totally voluntary, and you can bring your solicitor, and except of course if you didn't come, it would be much less voluntary. So
Right.
it's you have to take your entire day and hire a lawyer. It's like we just need your side of the story. The entire time of the protest, she had a policewoman standing at her elbow. So this
Hmm.
is not, yeah. So they have a witness the whole time they can ask. So it's totally a fishing expedition that
Right.
they're trying to get her to say something while she's in police custody because they have nothing to say about her otherwise. That anything that and the like protecting women and girls is considered to be, like, oh, that's a dog whistle. Like, y'all are nuts. Anyways,
It's so the whole thing is just so goofy. Like, how can they even? And I don't know how England can even function with the whole, hey, you've hurt my feelings that they tend to do. Like, who has time for that? Those
Yeah.
cops must like have other things to do.
That's the thing though, because they don't. I mean, they don't act on the other things to do. They don't
Oh
act
yeah,
on violent crimes
that
that
is
happen
true.
very much. It's oh, by the way, Amy of Two Sisters is in the chat. Hello. But like she was talking a little bit on Knitting Wars about Latoya the Destroyer and how she's off having all of these affairs in New Orleans and everything. And that it's not as if the city is going well and then you're having these affairs on the side. She is canceling meetings that are for the city's welfare when old ladies are being murdered. And then
Oh,
she's like, yeah, that don't matter. And
I don't mean to laugh about it because that's horribly serious, but also,
right,
oh, allegedly,
allegedly.
allegedly. There you go. Um, but
Yeah.
no, the whole thing is just Chicken Lady must be bored with our conversation. She's worried about reading the titles on your bookshelf. Thanks very much.
Just guess. You'll have to figure out what the spines are. No, but yeah, sorry. That it is very much the big things. The hey, you want to stop people getting assaulted on the streets? No, no, no. Let's go off and do some charity, whatever. Or some pseudo charity, whatever, when it comes to it's much better for the police in England to do the Macarena, to say how, pro LGBTQ, whatever they are. And instead of like, hey, you want to follow up on that robbery? Hey, so like,
What
there's a
what
woman
does the Macarena have to do with being pro LGBTQ plus
there are
question mark?
many videos of local police officers going to the Pride Parade and doing the Macarena.
But
Not even doing it well. Not if you can really. If they're like, "Whoa, you're really smoking at that Macarena," but that's not really a thing. But even so, it's not. They're out there supporting the gays, doing the dance, but
like
they're
but since when has the Macarena become a beacon of Oh, okay. Amy answered the question for me. It's the secret gay code. I didn't know that because I just thought it was a dance that people did to a terrible song from like what the 2000s.
yeah,
So I'm wrong.
yeah. It's what they play at weddings, for all of the sad non-dancers to get out and
Yeah. I mean, I've taught my kids how to do it because we do weird things like that in our living room sometimes. But I didn't know that it was like a gay dog whistle. Something. I don't know.
probably exclusively in England, though. I don't think the
Oh,
American
okay.
gays would be like,
Okay. So
probably.
allegedly, limp-wristed law enforcers. Maybe that's why they don't do it well.
Yeah. No.
Oh, gracious. I keep saying gracious like I'm 107. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea why I picked that today. But anyway, moving on.
We are a knitting podcast. We can be 107.
But sometimes I come out with some. Don't you ever do that where you like keeps repeating the same phrase and you're like, but I never say that in real life. Like, what is happening? Sorry, guys. Random side note.
Random side. Anyways. Oh, also fun news. We could end on that for once. With Papa Elon taking over Twitter. It's been a good
Okay.
time.
Okay.
He has been like totally cleaning up all of the people have said for ages that hey, there's all of this child porn on Twitter that you can access. Someone go clean it up. He did. Fired 90% of employees. Like, oh yeah, we can clean that up right away. He did another vote for if accounts should be reinstated that haven't actually broken the law or spammed. And it's one of those things where it's like, is there really a poll or is he just okay? Not that people aren't actually voting on the poll, but if it's something that he would have done anyways, like with the Trump reinstatement thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a good time. It's been fun.
So you've been in Twitter world because I don't do it, but
right.
there's the
And
reports of
again,
like how bad
Amy
it's gotten. What?
is like, Amy, it's her fault. She said,
Oh,
join Twitter and follow these 2 accounts. Those 2 accounts are not what I follow Twitter for now. I'm just out there having all sorts of larks.
that's funny. Amy is a bad influence. I won't lie.
Terrible
But
influence. What? And she just said I won one of her giveaways.
What?
What?
Aren't you lucky?
This is what I see. Last night I was sitting around and watching other videos, but I knew she had a new video. It wasn't one that I watched. And also, well, first off, thank you very much for the whole giveaway thing. And I'm happy. And that is all in support of Let Them Live, which is a great charity, which we talked on Knitting Wars and had talked about before, but it's awesome. Also, I that Amy said that she was trying to get her sister Denise to do another podcast soon. So come on, Denise.
Yeah, get on it. What? But anyway.
I know. Sorry, she's saying you didn't watch my video. I'm sorry. It came out yesterday. I haven't seen it.
You could be like me and just straight up admit that you don't watch anybody's videos because that's what I do. I never watch anybody's.
I'm often behind. I'll admit it, but I keep up with the peeps. I know.
Oh, I wanted to know about Twitter though. Back to Twitter.
Yes.
So I don't do Twitter, and what I was reading all the stuff that like people were like, oh, it's so terrible. Oh, he got rid of all these people. He had to ask them back. Have you heard any of that stuff?
Oh,
is that true? That he like got rid of too many people and now like stuff's not working.
Okay, so I apologize because there's 2 guys who walked out of Twitter and they pretended to be fake Twitter employees.
Okay.
And it was very funny. And sorry, one of them, their name was Ligma Johnson, and I forget what the other guy's name was. But again, bad pun names for these Twitter employees, and they were walking out with 2 cardboard boxes, and the one guy said that he had to go home now to his husband and his wife, and just weird stuff like it was funny stuff. But after this, so they weren't real Twitter employees, but after that, Elon Musk said, wow, they were so important, I rehired them. And he took a picture with them in front of the Twitter logo. But no, they weren't real employees. It was just a bad joke. Elon just thought it was funny enough to, play into it. But yeah, that it is much more efficient. And there's 2 pictures of Twitter employees before and Twitter employees after. And Twitter employees before were a bunch of, kind of boopsy blonde girls, basically. And they were all in charge of Twitter. And then, well, Papa Elon said, if you don't, you can't knock him or not knock him. You can't actively try to mess up Twitter and still be an employee. And you can't openly say how horrible. I wouldn't even. I don't know where the line is on him saying like, if you're an employee and you walk onto your own Twitter and you say, yeah, I don't like the new boss, different from, and I'm actively going to try to do this and this. It's like, yeah, why do you work here? You don't anymore. But if you didn't come into the office anymore, you were out. And yeah. And also, if you saw the video going around of, like they had wine on tap and game rooms and free and free meals for everybody, and almost nobody was coming into the office anyway. So he's like, there were more kitchen employees than there were people in the building. And there was this weird article that came out that apparently Elon Musk want his employees to starve. It's like, a lot of workplaces either have cafeterias where people have to pay for them or people bring in their own lunch. This has happened before. Nobody starves because your employer pays you.
Correct. That is how it works. I mean, when I worked in a real job, they had a cafeteria and we would buy things. And then it was really sad because one day they decided to shut down the cafeteria. And then I had to either bring my lunch or go out of the office to eat. And, you know,
You know?
sometimes that's how it goes. They never paid for my lunch. Once in a while, my boss would have like a pizza party with my group, but that was different. That
Right.
was my boss paying for us to have pizza together, not
Right.
not the company.
Yeah. Oh, and there was
But
another report of and Elon Musk, how horrible of him. He shut off the Twitter credit cards. After all, I was just going to buy farewell drinks for the group. It's like,
that's funny.
yeah,
I have a mini fridge where I bring my food, and then it's magical. Isn't that amazing how that works? You bring your lunch, you put it inside, and then it's there when you're ready to eat it. I used to do that too. We had a fridge. It wasn't a mini fridge, it was a real one, but it was
wow.
big company.
But yeah,
But
it's ridiculous. But also, I know the mentality
oh
of Twitter employees that are just sitting there like, you mean I can't use the company credit card to buy drinks at the bar for people who are leaving the company? It's like, no, they're
no.
gone.
Although
No.
I gotta say something. If I was working at a company that had wine on tap, you wouldn't have trouble getting me to go into the office. You might have trouble getting me to leave the office, but I
And be
mean,
productive probably at the office.
yeah, and to actually do my job while I'm there. But I would be there every day.
Right?
Bells on.
Lynn says she has to go. Bye, Lynn. But I don't
Yeah,
it,
Amy with two sisters agrees with me because I don't know. I'd like to have a wine tap here in my house. I'll talk to my husband about that. He never knows what to get me for Christmas. I don't know.
yep.
Feeding yourself must be too capitalist. You can only provide for the group, so it's socialism. To be at work on Sundays. Yeah, for real. For real, for real. But hey,
Oh,
whatever,
but
man.
oh, I was about to say that the difference between the two pictures with the, Twitter employees, mostly,
Oh yeah, sorry.
blonde women, and then the Twitter employees afterwards, which are men, lots, not to racially profile anybody, but it's like a much higher percentage of what may be Indian and Asian men, and they're all sitting around in t-shirts, and a couple of them are a little overweight, and they look like IT dudes. They just look
Yeah,
like people who actually care about the tech, and they care about code, and they want to do a good job. And maybe like maybe some of the boopsy blonde girls were really good at tech and doing their job,
they could be.
but one group stuck it out and were found to be of value to the company, and the other group didn't.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
there was a minor controversy. Again, it was just a silly article about women in gaming, about how there's this one on Twitch that people do a lot of gaming streams on Twitch. My brother does a gaming stream on Twitch. Not necessarily my thing. I'm not much of a gamer. But I may have said that I was on Horror Armorada show. So she does gaming streams on Twitch also, that she
Right.
likes horror video games, therefore the name. But there was a thing that out of the top 100 gaming streamers, that only one of them was a woman, and that she, was a woman famous for being very attractive, and she was on some big shows, and that's why she's well known.
Mhm.
And it was supposed to be sexism because, after all, why aren't more people watching the women on gaming streams? And the majority of people watching gaming streams anyways are men, so it's kind of surprising that the hot chick isn't getting more views. um,
Right.
but also that even if women are watching them, well, why are they watching the men more than they are the women? And it's like, well, first off, everyone has different tastes, but it's like, I think it's for the same reason that women don't really watch women's sports.
Hmm.
Like, if you are a woman who loves sports and you want to watch them, sure, but that is not a high that is a much less percentage of the population than it is other things. As it's like,
Right.
and like women in tech, it's like it's not as if you can't be a woman in tech or a woman who really enjoys tech or in there, but it's not super common for people.
Right. And I think it depends on like what kind of games they're playing because like my kids as a treat I let them watch video game shows sometimes. Like they're, obviously not streaming but pre-recorded kind of stuff. And they there's a lot of women, but I think it depends on the games you're playing because my kids play like Minecraft and Roblox and things that are kid games. And I think it depends. I think women gravitate more towards. I don't think as many of them are, playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare as they're playing other games. Like Amy
Right.
said that
It's
she plays Sims and Animal Crossing, which is what I play.
right.
So,
Yeah.
I think that part
Wombat
of
said
it
that.
is.
I was sorry, I was sitting there and again talking with my brother and his wife, and I was talking about how Sims is basically virtual dollhouse. I know it, you know it, and Animal Crossing is virtual dollhouse. But there is a difference in mentalities between American dollhouse and Japanese dollhouse. And we were sitting there, we were talking about this, and my parents were like, y'all are dweebs. Y'all need to
Yeah,
get off.
I've never actually played Sims. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
I play Rockstar games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, and
Right.
that's cool. I played both of those, but I just can't. I can't do it all the time. Like my husband, oh God, I love Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley is fun.
I love Stardew Valley. But see, that's the difference. We're playing these games that are, you know,
Right.
maybe not as many people are streaming their Stardew Valley game because it's kind of boring. Like
Right.
I love to play it, but it's very relaxing. I don't know if I would watch somebody else play
Yeah.
it.
I was watching, talking of gaming streams. There's this guy who his YouTube channel is called The Spiffing Brit. And he does things where he like breaks the video game and shows you how to do it. And it's funny because
Mhm.
he'll say the ridiculous, his whole thing of this game is perfectly balanced with no exploits. And he'll show you how to, win virtual Monopoly in turn one by messing with the AI, and he'll do different stuff like that, and it's fun, and he
Mhm.
is, and it's a funny time. But I was watching one, it was for the game Crusader Kings, and again consulting with my gamer brother, I'm like, oh, it looks like a game where you build your little empire and it's all drama and not so much that you control the fighting, because strategy control fighting, I'm like, yeah, whatever, but if you can assassinate the other guy's king, great time. So I was discussing video games like that. I'm like, no, no, no. I don't want, like, you have to decide which way the cavalry goes. I want to do you know, I want it to be more of a commodity day job, I'll admit. And that
Yeah,
is my bizarro gaming preferences. But anyways,
yeah.
but yeah,
No,
it is
Adam
different.
Adam says he loves NES
Uh,
Nintendo games, and I grew up on. Love them. I
yep.
have them, and once in a while the kids will be like, "Hey, mom, I can't get past this level," and I like come in and I show them how cool I am because I can still do it. And
I mean, like
but
there's some, like, again, when I was a teenager, and like I said, my brother's a big gamer, that he'd play like Battlefront 1 or 2, and I'd play with him on that. Or we had this Nintendo 64 game called Battle Tanks with an X, and that was one of my favorite games. I wasn't very good at it, but it was, in the futuristic year of 2002, when the nukes come over the world and like 99% of all women are killed, and
uh-oh.
the nothing but meat women in story mode for the rest of the time, and it's this evil mind control femme fatale, and everyone's in tanks and you shoot each other and it's a great time. Like, there's not a lot of thought in this. there's
Yeah.
It's like
No, I
my tanks go fast, yours go slow, and then we fight each other. And
yeah, no. My husband calls them like button masher games. Like I like to play Street Fighter because I don't know how to do any of the moves, but if you hit enough buttons fast enough, it's great. So he does not like those. But I that's what I play. But I don't know, Anne. What else? Do we know anything else besides gaming?
it has to be Well, again, to totally be distracted, Twitter was where we were at.
Oh yeah.
Talking about women in tech, women in games, uh,
Yeah.
different mentalities for the employees. Anyway, so yeah, there's discussions about what's allowed on Twitter's platform, what's not. Somebody had said something about Apple and Google maybe taking Twitter off their app store, like they had previously done with Parler and stuff, because it's so crazy and right wing. After all, we're bringing back Donald Trump is back on this platform. It can't be allowed. He hasn't tweeted anything. It still can't be allowed. We can't go back to his page and look up his dating advice to Robert Pattinson, which was the funniest stuff.
I haven't seen that.
No, and this is like years ago that he said that Robert Pattinson should not take Kristen Stewart back. She's just going to cheat on him. He could do much better. Like, thanks, Donald Trump.
Wow.
Oh, anyway, so
who doesn't want gems, pearls of wisdom like that? I mean, come on, guys.
Exactly. His entire rant on how he has never seen a skinny person drink Diet Coke, but he'll still drink it though. It's solid gold. It's really funny stuff. But that Elon Musk also floated the idea of making his own iPhone. And let me tell you, okay, so again, it's not as if he's totally blameless in this because of how Teslas are made and everything, that his company has worked with China before. But if we could have a non-slave labor tech market in America or another, Western country, that would be incredible. Like, absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This people are upset about Twitter, but they're quiet about the FIFA, the World Cup in Qatar. Yeah. No, nobody seems to care about that, but
yep.
That's another story. Pretty much Qatar hates what? Women and gay people, and they're still hosting the thing, so
yeah,
long story short.
Actual thousands of people died making the stadium, and it was slave labor. And it's still a law on the books that if you're gay in Qatar, you can be beheaded. But I think mostly they just throw people off buildings, which is also not good. Just put that out there.
Are you sure, Anne? Let me say stuff.
Let me think. No, that's very bad.
Yeah,
I checked. Still bad. And yeah, and there was all of this, woke virtue signaling, like, oh yeah, we're gonna have these One Love armbands. It's like the song.
I don't know.
And then they were going to be penalized for it. Like, oh wait, no. And this other guy, he's like, I'm really standing up for the rainbow crowd because he has this $500,000, or maybe more, at least $500,000 Rolex watch that has little rainbow gems around the face. And it's like, wow, you're really standing up for the peeps. I bet that gay guy in Qatar who's like, wow, you're standing with me. If people,
as I get thrown off my building,
yeah, it'd be like, oh yay, a soccer player did something. And the German team who had a big group picture with their hands over their faces, like, oh, we're being silenced. Like, oh, that's great. Totally lost to Japan. And then the English team kneeled apparently for George Floyd, and the American team didn't. So
weird.
Who again? Other soccer players. But still, it's like, y'all need something. Need to get
but, I don't know.
Hey, Neil's here.
Hey, Neil, thanks for joining us. We're about to end.
I know.
Bloody English kneeling. I was ashamed. Yeah, for real. Yeah. For real. I stink. I like the picture of your ugly cat. But whatever, man. So, but we don't worry about the big problems. We don't worry about things like that. We worry about Twitter employees and
crap. Yeah. Twitter
not
employee.
having enough representation in the gaming community or whatever
Yeah.
it might be.
And yeah. Oh, hi Dawn. Um, but yeah, it's yeah, that there's it's not as if to a certain that these little cultural matters of Twitter don't matter because after all, as has been mentioned before, that Twitter suppressing information has been bad, and not suppressing information, that's great, open chance for things. But yeah, it's like, okay, so yeah, Twitter story is fun, people in gaming is fun. Then you're like, yeah, but we just had an international agreement that you need a medical procedure to go across borders. That's huge.
Yeah.
That there are, and we saw this with COVID, that you have all of these individual countries with individual governments and different populations voting for their leaders, but they're all acting the same way and they all go to the same conferences. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of sort of laws by corporations that's saying that all of these corporations are going to behave in the same way no matter what countries they are from, um, with ESG standards or whatever. It's like, no, that's weird. And I don't know, it always it strikes me as weird too because you have lots of very liberal accounts, people, and they're saying like, oh, this is, capitalist hellscape, this and that. And I'm like, but are do you realize that the environmentalism thing that you're also for is destroying this? Do you realize that the idea of the 3-day work week is not helping you at all? And the over social safety nets is just flinging you into the arms of all of this? Like, you're not, your policies are not good. Not to, go off the wall at the end, but it's, you know, having having the World Economic Forum, um, advocate these policies where, that farming is bad for us now, and we have to have electric vehicles, and we all have, and the idea of digital banking currency, and you can't use it unless you do things that they approve of. It's like these are things they talk about openly and at their conferences. And it's like that's kind of a really big picture issue. But anyways, sorry.
No, it's all good. I thought we were ending on a happy note, Anne. What happened?
Well, happy note is, I mean, I know. Well, happy note is that culture itself is shifting. And I think with the Twitter thing, that it's more of the conservative side speaking. With even saying at the beginning of the political segment how both the Republican and the Tory party, the sort of old school members of both of them, are more and more liberal every day. But all of the energy of the party or the sides, because again, in America, it's just the Republican Party. I mean, you have the libertarians and they're doing whatever they do. But you have the Republican Party and then you have the MAGA section of the Republican Party. And that's where all the energy is. And it's the energy that moves ideas, that gains ground, that gets things done. And in England, and they seem to be in kind of a weird spot too, is that they have these little independent, you have the Reform and Reclaim, and the SNP, which is socially conservative and more economically liberal. They're very free speech is an interesting thing. Anyways, that you have these little groups, um, and that there's just a poll that came out that if the Reform, which used to be the Brexit Party, comes out strong, that the Tories will definitely have issues there. So, it's
Good.
if not, basically, word on the street is if Nigel Farage makes a big move, he's taking the votes with him because he actually stands for something. And it's kind of looking like it's going to go that way, which is interesting.
That is good. I mean, it has to happen. It we talked about it on another episode where things, they shift real far one way and you kind of then they kind of got to come back because it doesn't, yeah. So, but
Anyways, not to rant at the end, but
that's okay.
I
We
don't
always
know.
rant at the end.
It's difficult. Okay, sorry, I know you're like yarn first. No, it's difficult because okay, third parties are the death. They split the vote, they do everything else. But it's also difficult because Mitch McConnell is not your friend. And
I think
neither
most of them
is,
aren't.
yeah, and even my senator, John Thune, total lapdog of Mitch McConnell. Hate that dude. Just weasel.
Yep.
Um, but
There's nothing new under the sun. They shift back and
yep,
forth, and that's true.
right. Yeah, it's the big question of, if the problem of that if the Republicans split parties, um, that it'd be difficult that okay, the MAGA group has already been defamed by the media and in the horrible, bizarre kind of fascist speech that Biden did. But you want to try to shift things within the Republican Party, but the Rhino crowd is not giving up what power they have.
No, and that's why we have to talk about it. That's why we have to call them out, because if you don't want rhinos, you got to tell them you don't want rhinos.
Mm.
So that's,
Yep.
Primary votes, it's different things. I mean, we got rid of Liz Cheney that way, right?
Woohoo!
So, but that's what you got to do. You can't stand for it, and you got to tell them you're not going to stand for it, because otherwise they'll just keep doing what they're doing because they're happy and comfortable.
Yep.
So,
Anyways,
anyway, we are out. But yarn is always good. Yarn is our friend.
We love yarn.
And this is Chicken Lady's PIK yarn in our very own colorway. And yeah, use the code PIK vote 20 for 20% off your order.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying for a minute, but that's okay. So, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you have great days. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And today is Small Business Saturday, so go out, support your favorite small businesses. Ann and I have patterns and things for sale if that's something you're into.
Yeah, I didn't bring it, but I mean, I do have a little Israeli beanie pattern, for if you celebrate Hanukkah, that'd be very
Mm-hmm.
fit. But yeah, also Union Jack, Betsy Ross, Canada, these big maple. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget also, some of there's Giving Tuesday coming up, but also some of the people that were on our trunk show episode, their coupon codes are good until Cyber Monday and stuff. So make sure you check out all the people that came on, give them some support and love. And guys, thanks for joining us.
We will end comment with all the coupon codes under our trunk show. So if you go back to the episode.
Yes. So check them out. Have fun. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you guys next week. All right. Bye.